Am I the asshole for telling my roommate's girlfriend that she's not woke if she's wrong? Husband 28M and I 25F are ethnically Chinese from a C country living overseas. We rent a house with So's college friend who moved his girlfriend Anna in during lockdown, and she's been with us ever since with landlord's permission, and she pays her share of bills. They're not Asians, which matters. Anna was initially nice, but started acting very weirdly a month after she moved in. 1. Telling significant other and I that we can practice our real religion, which apparently is Buddhism, not Christianity, even though significant other and I come from Christian families. She even bought incense, which gives me migraines, and a random Buddha statue. We politely explained to her that we're not Buddhists, but she continued to insist and promised that she didn't mind. 2. Telling significant other and I that we can speak our real language cause she overheard So's family talking to us in a mix of English and Cantonese. I explained to her that I can't speak Cantonese, significant other can, even though I can understand it. She was, for some reason, really disappointed in me and said that I was throwing my heritage away. Plot twist, my own father is only comfortable speaking English. 3. Buying raw internal organs for significant other and I to cook, even though we don't eat those. I told her we don't eat that, not our thing, and she was again disappointed. She told us she read that there were lots of nice recipes and maybe we haven't found the right one to remind us of home. Significant other told her he's never eaten it ever in his life, and I've never liked it. She was really upset, but had to toss it since no one was gonna eat it. Chinese New Year was when things got really weird. She started ordering decorations. I wouldn't mind, but she had ordered hell notes, the ones burned for deceased ancestors. I immediately told her to stop pasting them all over the walls because they were weirding me out. She ordered banners with significant other and my name on it, some bastardization of our legal English names, but they were written on white banners, again, for deceased people. I told her to please take it down. She got upset again, but then ordered kabuki masks. I told her that those masks were not Chinese, and she just snapped. She started yelling at me that I should be helping her and not critiquing what she was doing. I told her, 1. She never asked. 2. CNY is not a big deal to me, so I wasn't planning on decorating, but if she had asked, I would have helped. 3. She never asked. I told her I don't understand her fixation with us. She said she wanted to surprise me and so, that we've been so colonized, we've forgotten our roots, and that we should be embracing our culture. I told her it was a nice gesture, but she needs to stop forcing stereotypes down our throats. She could have just asked, and she's not being woke when she's getting everything wrong. She burst into tears and brought in her BF. He understood where I was coming from, but thought I could have been nicer. Significant other stands by me, and now things have been tense, but I've been tolerating this for a while now and it was getting on my nerves. Not the asshole. Not woke? She's straight up racist. Ask her if she'd be buying you beans and a sombrero if you were Puerto Rican. Seriously though, she needs a frank talk about what racism is. Edit, since it needs to be said, yes, I know sombreros are Mexican and not Puerto Rican. I said this because Op received a Japanese kabuki mask. Not the asshole. Quote. So colonized we've forgotten our roots and should be embracing our culture. If someone said that to me, I'm of Indian heritage, born and raised in the UK, I'd tell them to F off. That's personal to me, and so not something that a relative stranger gets to judge about me. Not the asshole. You're a hell of a lot nicer than I am. I would have snapped a lot sooner. I absolutely detest people thinking they know more about your own culture and acting all woke when they're A, annoying and B, ignorant. Not the asshole. She repeatedly ignored that you and your significant other were not the stereotypical people she assumed you were, in favor of attempting to bulldoze you with the way she decided things should be. Your reaction is understandable. And to be honest, she sounds less woke and more. I did a 5-second Google search for this topic and now I'm an expert. Not the asshole. She wants to pretend she's so woke, yet she instantly turns to white woman tears when she doesn't get her way telling other people how their culture is done. Not the asshole. Love how she's white-splaining how to be Asian. What a dumbass. Nat. Your roommate is racist. Treating anyone differently, positive in or negative, based on their race, is racist. They are clearly overcompensating for how they truly feel about Asians now, or in the past. Edit There are some terrible typos. I want to say it was all because I was on mobile, but mostly because I was still 90% asleep. Too lazy to fix, at least y'all realized what I was saying. Holy white savior complex Batman, not the asshole. Almost all of the world's culture is a result of some form of invasion or colonization. Hell, England at one point was a very colonized land, between the Romans, the Saxons, the Vikings. I love how the white woke just assume anyone who isn't white is so incapable of understanding where their culture comes, and all choices they make aren't theirs because of colonialism. It's perfectly acceptable to look at where your culture comes from, the good and the bad, and accept it for what it is because all of that is what makes your culture unique. Not the asshole she's racist. Also, I'm also see and celebrate Chinese New Year, and plastering hell notes on the walls of your house and writing your names on banners for dead people is not only pretty morbid, it is inviting bad luck into your home. What did I just read? Not the asshole. Fucking wow. Tell her boyfriend it is not your job to educate her, and it certainly isn't her place to try and educate you. You are a human being, not a living cultural exhibit that exists for her edification and amusement. How dare she? She is trying to tell you that aren't Chinese enough for her tastes, but her fifis are hurt, so you should just roll with it? Fuck that noise. Not the asshole. Why do people assume Asians can automatically speak an Asian language? I guess Latinos get this too. But nobody sees a black person in the US assumes his first language is an African language. Not the asshole. Is she white? Start buying her mayonnaise and pumpkin spice candles constantly. Tell her it's okay with you if she wants to express her heritage by writing 1-star Yelp reviews and kissing dogs on the lips. Not the asshole. As a person of Chinese descent with family from C who actually does perform Buddhist practices, speak a Chinese language, and cook organ meats, I would avoid Anna like the plague for telling me to do those things for her satisfaction that she's helping me decolonize. How colonized or assimilated someone can be an intergenerational trauma thing and should not be brought up by a bare acquaintance outside the culture. That's a completely bananas thing to say, and you would not have been out of line to yell at her much more harshly than your fairly measured response. Not the asshole, of course, but now I understand why a past relationship I had with someone of Chinese heritage failed. I never once brought internal organs home for them to cook. Does it matter what animal? I'm unfulfilled, they said at the time, without much explanation. Well, live and learn, slightly smiling face. Not the asshole a million times over. From C as well, and being a Christian as well seems to confuse people that I can't eat beef or I am XXX race, so I can't have a Christian name. I even had a damn McDonald's staff give me a freaking chicken burger when I asked for beef 3 times. Your roommate is shallow and needs education. Not the asshole. If it was so important to her to reconnect you with your heritage, whatever this means, lol WTF, why didn't she involve you? Why couldn't she do better research? I'm sure the info you gave, why some of her attempts are very unfortunate, is easily accessible on the internet. Not the asshole. Maybe she had good intentions, but she obviously assumed you were a stereotype and got it wrong. You told her how uncomfortable you were, but she still continued on. If she really cared about your culture, she would have spoken to you and asked if you had any dishes you liked because she was interested in the culture, or if you wanted to celebrate Chinese New Year. Then when you said no, it should have ended there. Not the asshole. It sounds like her white guilt has gone so far it's circled around to hit racism from the opposite side. I'm amazed that you put up with it for as long as you did. Not the asshole. Not only is she racist, even if she doesn't mean to be, but she burst into tears at being corrected. What's with adults crying when someone confronts them, stands up for themselves, or just fails to compliment them 100% of the time? Anything they perceive as criticism makes them cry like a toddler at worst, it's manipulative, at best it's just pathetic. Not the asshole. She's doing the racial equivalent of serving fried chicken and watermelon to African American roommates and telling them it's their heritage. It's nakedly racist and pretty fucked up. Using stereotypes in a kind manner is still using stereotypes, and it's still disgusting. You have the patience of a saint. Not the asshole. Kick her out or find a new place. Not the asshole. His girlfriend is wildly ignorant, patronizing, and in fact has a very colonialist viewpoint. This is a particularly pernicious form of racism. Not the asshole, another Westerner telling you how you should interact with your heritage. Not the asshole, what a racist. She is literally harassing you and your significant other because you aren't living up to her image of what an Asian should be. She doesn't even bother to know that there is more than one culture in Asia. Funny how she felt comfortable enough to take you by the hand and lead you down the path of righteous cultural salvation. Good grief, not the asshole. Not the asshole. She's so woke that she's pretty racist. Not the asshole. You would think after the first time she was corrected she would take the hint and stop. But no. She doubled and tripled down to the point where her poor whittle feelings got hurt. If she doesn't want to get called out for shit behavior, then she needs to ask questions instead of assuming that what she saw on an outdated TV show was correct. Her boyfriend needs to pay more attention to instead of coddling her. How the hell did he miss all of this garbage treatment Op was being forced to suffer? Not the asshole. Woke people are racist as fuck, no matter what color they are. I knew an Indian girl who left everything Indian and her family behind, didn't want an arranged marriage with her cousin. It was glorious when some white guy started preaching about respecting other people's cultures and colonizers. Her answer was, that maybe if her country was still a colony, there would be modernized agriculture, environmental protection, basic education for all, and enforced laws against forced marriages and rape, clean water, and improved sanitation, higher standard of medicine. Another time her reply was, that she grew up in that rich culture, and preferred learning to read and write, choose her own husband, and not shit in the streets. Not the asshole. She is being annoying by assuming things. Especially since you already clarified many times. She needs to stop doing it. Your roommate needs to watch this video. When wokes and racists agree, being woke is basically a new form of racism. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, I can't repeat that enough. Anna's objectifying you and probably thinking she's rescuing you somehow from your meaning what she thinks is your supposed embarrassment about your culture. I don't know what the rental laws are like where you are, since you said you're not in the US, but if possible, speak to the landlord and let them know Anna's harassing you and that you want to kick her out. Because that's what she's doing. You've told her to stop insisting you act according to her stereotypes, and she just gets worse and won't let up. Kick her out, and get the landlord's help because the landlord might be the only one who can do it with any legal backing. Good luck. This can't be real. Not the asshole, this is creepy weird. Culture and heritage have a different meaning to every person, and does she have any awareness that Chinese isn't a singular culture, language or custom? If she'd like a lesson on this she can come and ask my 6-year-olds who live in HK and are a mix of mainland, HK and mixed heritage about the multitude of different traditions, customs and culture that is encompassed. It really sounds like she's fetishizing Chinese culture. Tell her that she's effectively white-splaining your own culture. If she'd like to learn about your experience of your own culture, then she can sit down, be quiet and listen. Otherwise, if you are having celebrations and want to include her, you may invite her to listen and learn. Otherwise go away because she's being creepy as hell. Not the asshole. And if you want to put it to her in terms that her woke self should understand, try this. White savior nonsense is not woke, it's the exact opposite. It's the same paternalistic, controlling attitude as colonialism, just with a fluffy feel-good veneer over it instead of your culture is wrong and I know better than you, so you should be forced to follow mine. It's you're doing your own heritage wrong and I, someone from a completely different heritage, know better than you. She's whitesplaining your own culture. She's racist, she's just paternalistically racist. Not the asshole. So strange. I grew up in not Asian, so I know all this stuff, but anyone can find out by Googling. I had a giggle over the hell banknotes. We used to buy those super cheap as kids to use as play money. The rest is just so strange. She is obviously uncomfortable around non-white people and is overcompensating. Bless her heart. Op never says the lady is white. Just that they aren't Asian, unless I missed something. Yeah, the lady is racist, but low-key some of these comments are too for assuming she's white. Again, unless I missed something. Wow, that's annoying. Not the asshole OBVS. You do not have to apologize for her white fragility, white person here. Woke culture has a lot of people speaking on behalf of people they've never even had conversations with. She's dictating your experiences because she thinks you've been brainwashed by Western society to internalize racism and push your culture to the side. She forgets that not everyone's experience in their own culture is universal, and she's trying to anti-racism so hard she's circled back and started being racist by basically telling you you're not Asian enough for her liking. Not the asshole. Does sound super annoying. I don't even believe most of these stories. Wow, your roommate was white-splaining you? Not the asshole. Wokeism is bigotry on so many levels. You are not the asshole. She is. Not the asshole. My God, I really winced at the kabuki masks, though none of this is good. She needs to actually listen to you instead of believing everything she reads on the internet. Not the asshole. I would have been really annoyed that she kept shoving things at you and insisting you like them. She seems kind of obsessed with your heritage. Neither of you asked for her to be doing any of it, and I would have been annoyed she was trying so hard for no reason. Not the asshole. This woman may have good intentions, but those good intentions are useless if she is not willing to listen and educate herself. She really sounds over the top offensive. Not the asshole. Nobody I've ever lived with has done this to me. I'm white with a very Scottish last name and have Scottish ancestors. Why does she think it's okay to force your ancestry down your throat when she wouldn't do that to a white person? Nobody goes around forcing kilts or bagpipes on me, forcing me to speak Gaelic, or questions why I don't decorate for traditional Scottish holidays. She's forcing stereotypes down your throat, especially with the food, and despite her best intentions she's being racist. Not the asshole. That would be like someone forcing me to act Bavarian because I am German. That woman is so woke she came full circle and plopped out at the racist end of the horseshoe. My girlfriend is Vietnamese. My flatmate is Indonesian. They are both Catholics. That is their choice. I am an adamant atheist, and even I don't try to change their religion. Especially not to decolonize them, whatever that is. This is so ridiculous, and she is so out of line it baffles me. As if all Asian people were a monolith. That is peak identity politics and woke culture in its worst aspects. Not the asshole. Sounds about white. Not the asshole. She's criticizing you for not being Chinese enough. That's straight up racism, only couched in nice gestures on the surface instead of being plain hatred like it used to be.